Hello everybody, welcome back to another Halo CE modding tutorial, and today we're going to be talking about how to create a custom set of first-person arms. Well, not really, we're going to be talking about how to mesh swap these first-person arms. I'm not going to go into too much depth for this because number one, I tried to create my own custom arms here with the hands and everything, and it was the worst piece of shit I've ever created in my life, so I'm just going to be talking through this. But everything I'm going to do in this video I've already done in my custom character tutorial, which also is not it's not a complete new character. It's just like ripping off the it's basically a remodel of the same skeleton. That's what I did in that. And that's the exact same thing that's going to happen here. Because if you do create your own custom skeleton and your own custom mesh, you're also going to need to create all your own custom animations for each weapon. So that would take some time. But again, I've already covered how to create like a custom armature as well in the devices video. I assume it's a very, very similar thing, and you can look at these bones and how they're set up and just copy it. Copy the names. I've probably done enough videos on Blender and Halo that you can probably go through and figure out what you need to do. But anyway, before we get started, we already did get started, but whatever. You're gonna need Blender for this and the Halo Blender tool set, same as every other Halo Blender video. And this right here is called the fp.gbx model, and you can import it from. Go to Import Halo Tag, and then starting in your tags directory, you go to Characters, Cyborg, FP, then you open the fp.gbx model, and this is what you get. So what you would do if you had a custom mesh, which first of all, if you do make a custom mesh, make sure it looks like this. You want the palm to be facing in, the hands to be kind of spread out like this. You want it to match pretty carefully or pretty closely with this because we are going to be using this skeleton. But once you get your mesh all ready to go, you would basically just shift click and drag this mesh off of this armature. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to have to reassign all the vertex groups if I do that. And then you would take your new mesh, click on it, shift click the armature, Control P, parent with automatic weights. It'll probably give you a warning saying that some bones couldn't be assigned or something, which doesn't matter. You can manually assign each vertex or each vertice, which you'll probably need to do anyway. So that's just unlinking the old mesh and then linking up your new mesh. And I guess one thing about the vertex groups, there's a bone right here. Deselect this shit. There's a bone right here in the armature called frame bone 24. This bone, if you do parent a new mesh to this bone right here is going to have its own vertex group. But as you can see in here, as just the default mesh, there is no frame bone 24 in here. It's all the other bones. So you can get rid of frame bone 24 when you parent your new mesh to the armature because that's just the frame. But after that, then you would just go through each vertex group, which is kind of nightmarish with all these little fingers. And then you would just go through and assign all the vertices you want to each thing. Just like this. It's the exact same thing I did for the custom character video I did. Except this feels a lot more tedious because of just the raw number of bones. But it's probably not too crazy. So you unlink the old mesh, you have the new mesh linked up, you have all the vertex groups all set up, everything's lined up or assigned to the correct thing. Make sure you do not have frame bone 24 here assigned to any vertice, and it's not even in the vertex group. Then you need to add the cyborg halo region to your new mesh. So you just hit add, and then you would just rename this to cyborg so it looks exactly like this, and that should be everything. Now it'll use all the cyborg animations and everything should be fine. You're just changing the actual physical look of the thing. And then the process of assigning new materials is the exact same as every other video I've done. You can, UV unwrap, you would assign a texture to this, just an empty texture, or empty material, or several empty materials. Then you would UV unwrap your entire mesh, like this. Select everything. Then you would go to Smart UV Project. Then you go to Texture Paint, like set up your brushes, your textures, do whatever you gotta do. And then once you're done painting on your unwrapped image, then you would save your image as a PNG, then convert it to a .tiff file using paint.net in your File Explorer area. And then you would assign that .tiff file, you would click, it should look that, if you assign a brand new material, it should look like this, but because these two don't need to use nodes because these shaders already exist, it doesn't, but yours would look like this, base color, image texture, open, find your .tiff file, just like that. So we will use this, don't need to use nodes. And also, if you already have an existing material or an existing shader, you don't need to add a new material. Like, you can have it look just like this, which is why every GBX model you import, it just looks like random colors and there's no actual stuff, because the game automatically searches for something with this name, a shader with this name, when it tries to compile. So, as you can see here, I did Bob Door Metal, Bob Elevator Metal, the textures I made for creating these devices. So if we go in here, shaders, Bob Door Metal. So when I try and compile this JMS into a GBX, it's automatically going to find this shader. So we don't even have to assign anything. And then the same exact thing for the elevator shader right here. So a lot of this stuff is the exact same as like every other Halo video I've done. So yeah. New mesh assigned, all vertex groups assigned properly, materials assigned, .tiffs created. If you don't have any existing shaders that you can use, you're going to need to go through the process of converting them into bitmaps, which again, I've done that in like several other videos at this point. And now you just export it. So export it as a JMS. Let's just make sure, yeah, we got the cyborg region, all this stuff. Yeah, so now we would go to File, Export, JMS, and this basically the compilation process into a GBX model is the exact same as everything else as well. So we'll go to FP here. No, where is it? Models. Yeah, I have a testings, models, and then fp_1.jms, that's what I called it. You don't need to change any of this. Default scale, all this is good. Export that. There we go. And, oh, why did I close that? Now we go to our root directory, data, find your .jms file, testings, models. We got our JMS right here. And I need to go delete the existing one. Oh, also I need to, oh shit, I have the globals thing too. That's still open. We'll get to globals later. I'll just switch that back quick. But you literally need to do one thing in Guerilla, that's it. Testings, actually we can just nuke that entire folder. Alright. So again, this is the exact same as everything else. You're going to open tool, type tool models to compile to a GBX model. Then you type the data directory, starting in the data directory to your .jms file. So ours would be, we'd start in data, and then it'd be testings. So this, and then it's gonna look for a models folder, crack that open, then find our JMS. So everything's everything's good. Enter. Oops, I spelt something wrong. Oh, I think it's just, it's just model. I did models. So tool, model, testings. There we go, it found our file. And now it's not gonna ask you for any shaders, because remember, well, if you did it the way I did it, these shaders already exist. So when it was compiling, it was like, it found this, is like, okay, does this already exist? It does, move on to the next, and then, yeah. But yeah, there's our thing, our new model, and it just like everything else, it mirrored this directory over to the tags directory. So tags, testings, and then it named it testings because that was the last folder name we put in when we compiled. I'll just rename, I'll just rename this to fp_1, and then we will just, we'll copy this, and I'll just bring it over to the characters, cyborg, fp, and, oh, it's already there, and just put it over by the original one. So when we open the globals.globals tag, which the globals.globals, where is that actually? It's somewhere. But you open up Guerilla, tags, globals, and then globals.globals. And then you scroll down to, you scroll all the way down to first person interface, and then the very first field you have is first person hands right here. And as you can see here, it has the fp.gbx model selected. So we just have to select a different GBX model that we want to replace the hands. So characters, cyborg, fp1.gbx model, save the globals.globals. And now if we go load up a any scenario in Halo or do anything using that tag, it'll have custom arms. I mean, for me, it's just going to have the Master Chief arms with my shitty textures over it, but again, everything else I've done before and shown before, so it's not really too difficult. Same shit, just different, I guess, situation. And I don't know why, changing the arm seems to make tag test take its sweet ass time. And also just loading into a new scenario as well, but it worked the first time, don't see why it won't work the second time. So, map name, endless, map does not exist. What are you talking? Oh, I forgot to put levels in there. Levels, endless. And when we load in, we should have some weird gray, whatever the hell, textures. And here we go. And as you can see, we have, it actually doesn't look too bad actually. This camo, the door camo, the door camo actually kind of looks like a gray camo. It looks much better as a camo rather than a door thing. And then I have the elevator, I have the fucking elevator stuff as my actual armor, which actually kind of, I can't really see it, but it actually kind of fits a little. But yeah, there we go. That's how you get custom first-person arms working. Again, the hardest, well, not the hardest, the most tedious part is just going to be assigning every vertex group to the vertices in order to get it working. But once you have all that working, you're not going to need to worry about animations or anything else because you're just, you know, just swapping out meshes. That's all you're doing. So yeah, that's easy enough. I might do a video on just like custom skeletons overall and figure out how that works. But when I did the devices video, I created an entire custom armature myself, and the naming thing didn't seem to matter at all, really. So again, you can screw around and just try and figure out, you know, if you need to name these very specifically. You can try and make your own entire custom armature and mesh and animations. You might be able to even just like make up a random face map too. Because the face map, I think, makes things tied to a certain animation. I'm not sure, but If you just want to, remodel your arms in Halo, this is how you do it. If you, I guess, need help figuring it out, you can go watch my custom characters video. That's the exact same thing, just I guess I actually took the time to literally go in and do it in that one. But yeah. I wonder if you can use Halo tools and where is it? Bone rotation helper. Reset bone rotation, invert bone rotation. If we select all these, okay, it doesn't seem to, whatever. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be it for this. It's pretty short and sweet. All the stuff, the long part of it is just the tedious stuff, which I can explain away in like 2 sentences. So, yeah. If you made it here, thank you for watching. If you watch any of my other stuff, thank you for watching that as well. And I will see you in whatever I decide to do next time. So thank you for watching.